Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to what was a bit of a surprise time trial challenge. At least to me, I spotted this late Monday afternoon as suddenly Mr. MCA released a guide to a time trial challenge, and I thought, wait a minute, so I wanted to check this one out. I highly recommend that you watch both Mr. MCA's guide. Titsney just released a guide as I do this commentary, and I know Key has a guide coming up as well. But this is my first impressions. I did like 45-50 minutes of this one, and I think even for a casual player like me that this is doable. We've got 50 days to do this, and let's just jump straight into this one. We're going into the sport mode section where you'll find the time trial challenge. And when I recorded this, a 131 flat was needed for gold. That time has probably come down a bit. I am loading Damien's Ghost, who was P1 at the time. He is also on a controller and he is very fast, and I immediately go off the track before even reaching the start finish line. And since I'm so used to road cars, I'm braking way too early for turn 1, and the same goes for turn 3, where I also brake too early. Trying to get the power down, you really have to roll on the throttle. I go all sideways. By accident, I actually don't make a complete mess of this corner. A bit slidey coming out of there. And now the infield section, trying to get the car towards the apex, and also here it's not too bad. I think you are better off exiting in 4th gear. The car is more stable. I haven't figured that out yet. I just loaded Damien's Ghost. I could definitely benefit from also actually watching what he was doing, but I didn't have that much time, so I just jumped in and learned along the way the best I could. My goal was just to get a decent time, and since this is 50 days, we might have to go back to this one again. My first time is a 131.6, and now let's try to be a bit braver into the braking zones, but clearly not this brave. I'm ending up in the gravel trap and had to restart, and now I just ended up in a string of restarts and invalidated laps.
A few moments later.
This lap and the following lap, and once again, yeah, so not much luck for me there, but finally I'm getting a lap in. Now I am using the 100 board as a reference for turn 1 down to 2nd gear and back up to 3rd, 2nd gear for the rotation and 3rd for the exit. Have to brake just before the 100 board for this corner, and here just have to ease on the throttle. You can see Damien is doing a better job of that, and for this corner, you can see I'm slightly missing the apex there. I was struggling a bit to find a reference for that one. I'll get back to that later, what I used as a reference at least. Here I'm using just a bit of 2nd gear to get the car close to the apex. That seems to be the way to do things on this game. A thing I learned by watching, amongst others, Wind doing this a lot in the WIX a while back when that was the meta car in Group 3. I get a solid improvement on this lap, and let's just go out and see where we are at. So we have a goal time. I've only done this for 12 minutes. So that's just telling me that this should be doable for a lot of us. But I want to get a bigger margin to the current gold to silver limit, so we're jumping back in again. Remember, this challenge is running for 50 days, so might have to keep an eye out on this one throughout that period. And this time coming around the hairpin, I try to roll on the power, and now that brake marker, as we come in here, I'm using where the 100 board almost aligns with the timer just below the rear view mirror. I couldn't really find anything else, and obviously that only works when you are in bumper cam, but that's what I was using as a reference for a brake marker. And we're coming around here once again, a bit of 2nd gear to get the car in, and I'm afraid I am still exiting in 3rd gear. Maybe it doesn't make that much of a difference considering all the other small mistakes I'm doing, but the car is more stable in 4th gear. And we're coming in here using 3rd gear, but up to 4th on the exit and down to 3rd. And I think, yeah, 3rd gear might be the gear for this. Maybe it's 4th, I have to check that out. We are coming across the line almost below 130, and I would really like to get just below 130, and I am crashing in my effort to do so, but we carry on. Once again, coming into turn 1, down to 2nd, get the car rotated and get on the power. The track is really bumpy there, so you have to be careful when you apply the power. And can I roll onto the power? You can hear the rear wheel spinning a bit, and that just costs you time. We are coming down the hill into this corner. We are doing all right. Now I'm accelerating a bit in 2nd, short shifting to 3rd. If you start straight off in 3rd gear, if you haven't got the line completely right, it feels like the car bogs down a little bit. Didn't use much 2nd gear this time. It's a bit wide there, but we are coming around. We are still up on our time, just a tiny bit. And we are coming into the final corners. I think the 100 board is sort of a reference, maybe braking a bit after, but it's a reference, and the end of the big red and white stripes for the final corner is a reference. And yeah, we are just below 130, and we try to carry on, but I invalidate the lap, so let's just go and have a look. So I have been doing this for a little less than 40 minutes now. Let's give it a few more laps and see what we can do. I can always go back to this, so this will be my final run for now. Coming into turn 1, using all the width of the track, going a bit sideways there, that's going to cost me some time, but we are just carrying on. I'm not cutting into this lap, it's running in its full length. We're coming up towards what is known as turn 3. I am braking just short of the 100 board, all the way down to 1st gear, back up to 2nd, trying to roll on the power. You could hear my rear wheel spinning a bit. Really a lot of time to both gain and lose by getting that just right. And once again, as the 100 board almost aligns with the timer on the top of my screen, I brake. I missed the apex slightly there, not the best exit. This just shows that if I put some more time in, there should be some more time to find for me. Using a bit of 2nd gear, get the car close to the apex, running wide as I can, as wide as I dare. And this time I use 4th gear for the exit, and the car is more stable here. And we are coming down towards the 2 final corners. 100 board as a reference. Braking shortly after that, I think, and just at the end of the Austrian flag painting there, and we are going across the line, almost going a bit slidey, also losing a bit of time on the final straight, but we get a 29.802. I'm leaving this for now, keeping an eye out for this, make sure that my time stays within the limit. This was my first impressions. I hope you found this video entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. I highly recommend that you watch some proper guides for this as well. But this was the casual player review of this time trial. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.